All right, thanks. Looking forward to
Cool
that.
beans.
Because
Hi, Karissa. Bye,
until then,
Karissa.
it's just birthday cake, endless amounts of birthday cake. Because if you were tuning in for any of my birthday 2 days ago, I got 3 cakes, so I have plenty of work to do.
Yeah, dude, I was working pretty much the entire time, but I watched the stream and I mustered the courage to say happy birthday one time.
Yes. Always good hearing your voice. Would love to hear you more, Jesse. And Kim too. Bring her
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
Homer.
dude, it's just
Homer, I like to hear banging buttons in the background.
dude. Last night he was like, check out. He had some Fightcade matches he wanted me to watch and like, um, give him feedback on.
Hmm.
He's getting much better. Starting to like walk up as Guile, which is like a rite of passage for every Guile to learn how to walk.
Yeah. Yeah, not just hold down
Not
back.
hold back and get pushed back. Yeah,
Mhm.
learn how to walk forward.
Well, I need to see.
Um,
There's good news on all that front. Sonic Matt got himself set up. Penelope's set up, but only with a keyboard right now. So she can play, but she can't play with a joystick.
so she has a significant advantage.
Yeah. And
She's on the
Jagger
hitbox.
and Savannah. So like the kids ST crew is getting up and running. And they're going to be playing with us on Fight K2. Maybe
Yeah.
heck, between the 4 of them, we might even have a kids ST tournament.
Kids ST. Yeah, obviously things been work is like hectic now that you do it from like home. It's not as efficient and stuff. So whenever I get a chance to, I want to.
The commute is much more efficient.
Much more efficient. It's just so jarring, I guess, to me.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
But yeah, I'll try to hop on Fightcade. I had no idea like Tuesday night fights are still going on. You're a madman. You're an absolute crazy
You
man.
can't let it stop you, right?
Is everyone just playing on their computers?
Yes.
Or does everyone have like cabinets at home? Or okay.
We all
Okay,
have
so since I have you both here, I can go ahead and mention like Tuesday night fights. This last Tuesday was so epic that it actually cost me last night on Wednesday because it went all the way into Wednesday morning fights. That I'm not planning on having happen again. We'll try and do it in a more timely manner with games that are not King of Fighters 98 because holy cow, that went a long ways. But the week before that we did Super Turbo, and then this week we're doing Vampire Savior.
Oh what?
Vampire Savior, Tuesday night fights. It is available for free in our Discord. Just go to Fightcade Instructions.
Wink, wink.
And it is possible, depending on if internet goes that far, to play from Kansas. I'm just saying.
I actually think my internet's not too bad. I don't think.
Well, if
If it
you...
is, you can just blame losses on it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like I lag.
Yeah, Karissa, if you're available from the far out land of Kansas, then
What time are we playing?
7... You know when Tuesday night fights is? 7 o'clock, Tuesday.
Well, I don't know if we were maybe moving it up early because I don't have anything else to do during the.
Oh yeah, you need to get some practice matches in. I mean, Snuggle Guns does need a partner. It is 2v2 still.
Oh yeah.
So how have you been in Kansas, Karissa? Live report from Kansas.
I've actually been doing pretty well. For
Hello? And there you go. That is the end of all internet.
There's Kansas internet. She
From
ran out
Kansas.
of internet.
oh
She
no.
used it
sorry.
all. And that is it.
Yep, that was it. That was the last. Used it for the beginning, and that's all I could do. Sorry, guys.
It's all right. Since when has a little lag stopped fighting games from playing online, right?
True.
Never. But no, things have actually been going really well. It was really hot yesterday, which was unexpected because I didn't think it could get hot in Kansas.
Hey, Jesse, you still there?
Yeah, can you guys hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah,
All right, can you see the stream, Jesse?
I can hear. Hold on. What's going on?
So
Are you
we're
flipping me off?
live in the Free Play Away Game Studios. I don't know if you can see it too, Karissa.
No, not yet. I'm coming up to my computer right now. Actually, I was outside taking the dog on a walk.
What the
And now
hell
I'm
is it?
inside.
You already got a dog?
It's not my dog.
Oh.
He was here when I got here.
Not wasting time.
Oh, did she draw this?
Yes, he did. This is
That's
my
pretty cool.
thing. But that actually wasn't what I was trying to show you. Let me see if I
Oh.
can take that Karissa doodle down. Okay. So
I'm coming.
yeah, we're live here in the Free Play Away Game Studios. You see it around me? Looks a lot like Free Play Richardson. But I wanted to show you that I have arranged for some road trips, so we can go to Denton Heat. Denton Heat, got the courtyard in the background, or the Denton Courthouse in the background. But also, welcome to my garage.
What the hell? Hold on. There's a delay on it.
I know. You'll see it.
Then Heat.
Yes, the free play away game studios can go even further away, or
Oh, dude, so cool.
take a trip to the garage. You can see all my sweet rides.
When you
I
go
have
to the
to wait
garage,
for an ad.
It's okay. But yeah, Hello Kitty
when you-
Sim has plenty of things to get around on.
when you put this background on your garage, sorry, when you go into your garage, can you have the constant sound in the background going? Brow, brow,
I think I can
brow,
actually.
brow?
If you want to.
If you want to make
maybe.
it authentic. Champion
Yeah, I got
edition,
it.
annoyance.
Yeah. Just ignore the rides on the left and the right. They're they'll get used to you after a while. Don't try and pet them directly.
I think you're going insane. in that I think you're starting to believe the green screen. They're like, that's like your home now.
Yeah, calm down. All right, we're gonna be all right.
I just can't wait for the inevitable Chris Delp sleep stream.
I that has been what I've been dreaming of lately. Like that's the only way when I wake up that I know I've actually been asleep is I dream that I'm narrating and streaming my own sleep. So otherwise I'm just rolling around and tossing and turning. But when I dream I'm rolling around and tossing and turning, I'm also narrating it in my sleep on stream. So
What you should do is you should record yourself commentating ST, but make like the most generic comments possible. Like,
that's all of my commentary. I don't know if
That's
you've
a
heard
great-
it. I don't know the game that
That's a
well.
great special. That's actually,
Nice
a
show
little
you.
bit risky.
Nice
but
show
yeah,
you.
great show you. Awesome. Good spacing
Nice
here
show you.
from player 2. And that's how you're not supposed to play like that against this character because that's like not favorable. Just keep saying that over and over again, and then just like play that over random ST footage.
Lose.
And while you're asleep, that way there's live commentary 24/7.
Yes, I'm sure that will help my sleep much. Greatly.
So
So
you can commentate your sleep.
So
That's what I would
Karisa,
do.
why are you in Kansas?
Well, you know why I'm in Kansas.
You got blown away by a tornado or what?
I did. I got carried away here by a tornado.
We lost a lot of
Beltran.
volume on you there, Karisa.
Is this any better?
I don't know.
Because she moved a little further.
No, I switched from my phone to my headset.
This currently is better.
Okay, great. There we go.
You get kidnapped by Beltran's flying monkeys.
I didn't know they were his.
Everything's his.
Yeah. No, I think so. He owns Beltran
The
Manor
rights.
on Beltran Mountain in the Oak Cliff area. But once you get any further north of Oklahoma, like so the Air Force Base that now technically doesn't live on, that's of course property of the U.S. government. But like everything north of Oklahoma from there to the Canadian border, maybe even a little past it, I'm not sure about how the international laws. That's all Beltran's. He owns it all.
Well, I think there's some territories in Canada that are grandfathered in for Beltran
Oh my
because he
goodness.
was there before those lines were. Don't quote me on that.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, Ricky, you're safe there in Oklahoma. I think it's north of Oklahoma. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, by the way, the people who live there, his property is yours, and a lot of your assets are his, and some of your children might be his as well. Just check your local, talk to your local representative.
Oh, okay.
no,
Alright,
also that's also why the requirement of you learning wrestling so quickly, if living in Kansas, is there. Part of
Yeah.
Lord Beltran's.
Of course, now it's being taught in like preschools and stuff, but
Yeah, I mean, I missed out on that. I'm a little old to go back to preschool.
So what's Kansas like?
It's flat.
I told you, there's one
Flat.
field, and that's it. That's all of Kansas.
Yes,
It's
I
bigger than the size of Kansas.
have taken a lot of walks. I have gotten more sun here than in Dallas in like the last several months.
Does that mean you are What are you? What color?
Do you have complexion now?
Yeah. Do you have
Nope.
complexion now? Yeah.
Nope. No.
But do you have
No.
sunburn now?
No, I've been wearing sunscreen.
Gotcha. The SPF 250 required for walking around
Yup,
there with
You know it.
not one tree in the whole state.
Mm-mm.
I know you used to drink Sunny Delight as a substitute for going out during the day.
Oh yeah, Sunny D is so good though.
That's no longer happening. Now you're getting real Sunny Delight from the sky.
I didn't say it was delightful. It is sunny though.
Okay.
All right.
It's very bright.
Yeah, daytime can get pretty bright, but you'll
It
get
is
used to it.
painfully bright up here.
It's actually
but
kind of
it's-
bright. Well, okay. It's spring here. It's the spring week. Like
Mhm.
literally the best week to live in the area, with the exception of the apocalypse.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
I
do
go
you
out
think
my
I'm gonna
walk
go to
every
my-
day and just perfect, or maybe a little sprinkly, and then that's it.
Why do you
Well-
think I want to go to Mike B's house so bad? You know, if the world goes to shit, there's only a few places that are still going to be standing.
Yeah, but you got to play Pac-Land on Versus Cities all day.
Dude, I don't care. I've stooped that low.
Oh, I understand. It's a dark time for all of us.
I play Pac-Land. If it means living.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about Pac-Land, and I was like, speaking of Pac-Land, I've been in Pac-Land like all week. Unpac-Land this week.
Oh, you're playing real Pac-Land on a flat stage on a flat surface with flat textures, just constantly walking forever and ever. It's the
No,
real Pac-Land.
I just mean I'm actually packing, like a lot of packing.
Oh, you mean like unpacking?
Did you bring all the
Yeah,
stuff?
well-
Is it a minimalist move, or do you and 3 truckloads of stuff come with you?
No, it was just one truck and my car, so that wasn't too bad. We also had a trailer, which was really convenient.
Getting all adjusted? Have you adjusted to all the complexities of life in that one field?
I have to say that I have. I think I have.
Mm-hmm.
Have you memorized all 3 types of grain?
Not yet,
Name
but
them.
I don't think it's gonna take me very long.
Yeah, that's literally the only thing to learn. So that and get underground whenever the tornadoes come.
There's radioactive, sedentary, and kinetic.
Oh, those are the 3 types of grain, huh?
Mm-hmm. Jesse can also help you with your wrestling final whenever they come to see
Whenever
if you
that
can
comes up.
stay in the confines of Kansas or not.
If you're allowed to live.
Yeah, right.
Let's see. What part of Kansas are you in?
Wichita.
Wichita. Is
Yeah,
that near?
I'm about to. I don't know what to eat, so I have grits, and I think it's hilarious. I'm making grits.
Have grits, grits, and grits.
Well, I got grips and chips and everything else like requires actual effort to make
Mhm.
besides this beer that I have in the fridge. But I'm running dangerously low on beer, and I
Well,
don't
if you
know,
want, you can make a trip to Free Play Richardson this weekend.
I know, right? I'm gonna have to because it's the only place to get good beer in all of Kansas.
That's what Nate has been telling
And
us
it's
this
not
entire
even
time.
In Kansas.
In fact, Nate travels here to drink some beer. I don't know what
I-
else he travels here for.
I need to know when he's coming down next, because that's I didn't realize that Denton only did the Growler fill-ups on Saturday until that last weekend that I was there, and I was like, are you serious? I missed it. I was here all day, here being Free Play Richardson, and so that was really disappointing that I didn't get to go by there and get beer on my way up, because that's a ritual that I always participate in. Is, oh, I'm going north? Well, I might as well stop by Free Play Denton and get a growler. Oh, I forgot my growler? Well, what does it matter? It's half off with the fill-up. So now I have like 10 Free Play growlers.
Yeah,
Very
I have the
excited.
same. In fact, I would just get another one. My idea
Of
was
the
to have
coffee?
one that I could have in the fridge and then one in transit, and I would get a growler of cider or whatever for my roommate.
Oh, okay,
Um,
that makes more sense.
Yeah. So I didn't
You're
actually
talking
drink
about
it.
the Nitro, the cold brew coffee that they
I
have out
tried,
there?
but they wouldn't do
That's
that for
the
me.
Growler, right? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll be bowing out.
All right.
Mr.
See you,
Del-
Jesse. See you soon.
Oh, well, it was
Mrs.
nice chatting with you.
Mrs. Bandit Keith,
Oh, just Ms. Thank you.
America. See you guys later. Hopefully, we'll schedule something so I can come back and talk about more wrestling with Mr. Beltran.
Please,
because that's the only
please.
thing he wants to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
you're gonna have
absolutely.
to catch me up on all the
The wrestling.
yeah, please, because
Way back in 1956, there was a guy named Bob Backlund.
Oh my goodness. This
No,
is
no, no. We want to hear about Fritz von Erich.
Yeah, let's not talk about the Von Erichs.
All
Unless you want to start. Unless you want to start.
right, later.
The Rock was a wrestler, right?
Oh, yeah.
Depends on who you ask.
John Cena was a wrestler, right?
Was.
Who's he?
He's the guy that hired Michael Beltran to do his intro video.
Oh, the guy that Beltran trained.
And I know
Oh, boy.
Sheamus, and that's it. I know those three.
Let's schedule something so I can talk about literally anything. If you tell me, give me any topic, I'll try to my best to fill anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes.
Well,
of
definitely
nonsense.
let me know next time you do the wrestling synopsis.
I
'cause
feel like we already scheduled Mike B news for tomorrow at noon. So
At noon.
I think you just need to roll in there and blow up Mike B news every single time he tries to do it.
You saw what he did? The fucker snapped at me. Did you hear it?
Yeah, that's on episode 1.
rude.
Yeah.
Wait till episode 20 when he's like busting down my window on Discord.
When he realizes he can't get away.
Okay, that's cool, man. I'll see what I'm doing tomorrow noon, and if you guys are doing that, Mike B's never been one to be trusted, so let's just find out on the next episode of Beltran News.
See you, Jesse.
Cool bean. Later, boss.
So Karissa, other than beer, and walking, anything else? Do you get a chance to at least do your art since there's nothing else there?
I haven't had a chance actually. I've really just been unpacking and getting things organized. Been getting settled. I do a lot of cleaning. Cause we do a lot of cooking. I think the only time that we haven't cooked was last night because the AC broke and it was really hot and we didn't want to turn the stove or the oven on. So we're like, let's just let's order Chipotle. It's free on Uber Eats. Free delivery.
So they have Chipotle at least in Kansas.
Oh yeah, and they have this place called Pepper Jack's, and it's probably my favorite place ever because it's got
Ever?
Philly cheesesteaks.
How
It's
dare
so
you?
Good. Okay, favorite food place.
Okay.
Favorite Philly cheesesteak place. Cause oh my god, the Philly cheesesteak is so good. But it's closed, and I was really sad because he was gonna bring me home some from work, and then he didn't because they were closed.
Have you been playing any games?
I just a little bit. I haven't been wanting to play too much because I think I mentioned to you at some point I think I want to start streaming games, and I think it'll be more entertaining for me to play games on the first run through than games that I've played before.
I understand.
Like Fancy Pants. I'll replay Fancy Pants Adventure World 4 for years and years, but I want to go back and start with the first one and work my way up through the first, second, and third one, and then do the fourth one.
Well, we have times where I just cannot be on the air. If you want to take the mantle during that time.
Yeah, I might have to, and then
Yeah.
you'll have to show me how to put the videos on my channel so I can promote this channel.
I think lately we've been doing it where you put it on your channel and then we restream it off of one of these things. That's how we did The Witcher 3. So you don't have to be too taxed on your side. You come talk in the Discord right here, and it's already set up and ready to go. And then the all put together part is just on our twitch.tv/freeplayarcade.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna let you know I don't understand how to do anything on the computer, and I'm still waiting on being shown how to record stuff from my screen.
what are you playing on?
My computer.
Okay. In that case, I actually don't know at all. But I was able to help David with the PS4 because he's been playing The Witcher 3 off of a PS4.
That's really cool.
It just has that button that says share, and then that does the trick.
That sounds convenient. Well, I'm sure someone in this stream, or not in this stream, but like in this chat, or someone knows someone who knows how to do that. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't know how to do anything on the computer.
So I liked your doodle. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I have it on
appreciate
screen now.
Yeah, you said you wanted my name on it, and so I put my name on it.
I did.
That one picture. And then I put the years that I worked there on the other one of the picture of me and you two.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, no, I really appreciated it. Um, it's more than I deserve for the price that I paid, but I don't know. I know you were always legendary for doodling behind the bar, and I
well,
just wanted one piece of something to remember you by.
I know. And once I started, I really couldn't stop because you gave me free reign with it, and I was like, what do I draw? Like, I want it to be something that, uh, like, I don't know, that you would remember me by, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we'd
And
remember
that
you
was,
either way, but
I
yeah.
know, but that seemed like a really good way to like put a bunch of stuff together, and I liked those pictures. And the New Year's party was so much fun. Um, yeah, it was a lot of fun. My only regret for this photo is that I couldn't get a picture of, I couldn't get a drawing of the Jerry behind Carlos in that bottom picture, because he was in it, but I couldn't figure out a way to put him in it without his face being really close, like just yeah. But
He can
I think
be with us in spirit.
exactly. I think he'll forgive me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. With a hearty laugh, I'm sure.
Exactly. That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. Oh, can you not hear the drops? They can.
There we go.
At least the stream hears the Jerry who is joining us virtually.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm happy with Big Blue making an appearance and all the bar staff, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It definitely makes me miss just getting to hang out with everybody at Free Play Richardson. In fact, I think I should just change the background back. We're leaving the garage and going back to the traditional Free Play away game studios.
Well, it's classic.
So not playing anything because you're looking to stream later, potentially willing to stream on the channel with us. So normally we, like the times that are way wide open are like morning and wee hours, like late. Because I try and shut it down at 10, and when I say try, I mean usually fail, and it goes on till like midnight. And then after that, like everybody wants to keep going. That's when the Denton Finance Clan really like hits the good part, right? And I hate to shut that down.
Well, how early in the morning are you thinking?
I mean, when you get up there in Kansas, do you guys have roosters that just like go crazy?
No, I mean, it's pretty arbitrary. Like, my schedule is, we try to go to bed, I don't know, before 1 typically, which is really early for me, because I'm used to going to bed at like 6, 7 in the morning. He wakes up. Sometimes we'll wake up as early as like 6, and sometimes not until like 8.
Gotcha. Yeah, David
really
did 8 to
depends.
12. Anything leading up to noon is just wide open. So
That sounds perfect.
yeah, cool. Let's do it. So no art yet, but plans?
Oh my goodness, yes, there was so much that I wanted to do because April usually I haven't been able to find a prompt list. I mean, I haven't looked in the last week. But the first few days of April, I was looking for a prompt list for Adventure April, because you know how there's Inktober, like that one's really, really popular and people know about that one really well.
I haven't heard of it, so fill me in.
So during the different months of the year, there's typically a different like artist prompt list that people will make. Like for October, it's called Inktober, or if you don't want to just use ink, it's called Drawloween. And for each day of the month, there's a different prompt, and you'll have to draw. And typically, it's like 1 or 2 words, like spooky or monster or slime, just bat, candy, stuff like that. And you'll just draw something based on the word that you see, and you'll have that for each day of the month. And so for October, it's Drawloween. There's one in
Sorry.
April that I really like to do called Adventure April that I think is really cute. And that one will start like the first day is always like the protagonist or the main character, and the second day is like an animal companion or a partner for them to adventure with, and then through the month each prompt that you do is based on whatever journey they're going through for the month. And I always wanted to do it. I was really excited to try it. I had a couple characters that I raffled off actually on my Instagram that I need to actually go ahead and pick a winner for.
That actually really that sounds like the stuff that Gory Midoriya was recommending for us, just kind of keeping to a rhythm and keeping a schedule going. Like for myself, I've been walking every day at 10 a.m. Just getting outside, walking around the block. It's not quite Kansas here. It's not one endless field. I can take a different path through the neighborhood and
Oh, that must be nice. The
see
scenery
different
changes.
plants and yeah.
Uh,
You're welcome. Our borders are currently open. Anytime you want to
Yeah.
come back.
Well, I also have a lot of houseplants. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 peace lilies, and then there were also plants when I got here,
Mm-hmm.
which is also nice.
You have to come back. You have to like book a ride with Nate at some point, and
Oh yeah, just let me know his schedule.
I'm
like,
not happy with my favorite people living in Kansas. This is not cool.
I'll be back.
Mm-hmm. Well, you
I
and
have
Nate
to come back.
both.
The beer is good. It's the only place to get good beer anywhere. I'm super biased though. I am really biased.
You and me both. Actually, I don't know much about beer, to be honest with you.
Well, all the people that I like the most are down there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're gonna do a craft beer show. I hear
What?
Jasmine and Zach are planning to do a craft beer show tomorrow at 5:30.
Ooh, buddy.
Yeah, and they'll talk because I think you were there on Saturday when we were talking about busting into the premiums, and the Sunday we had the premium special. We're having premiums on special at Free Play Richardson, so they have plenty to talk about.
Oh, I forgot to get that one bottle. There was one bottle up there that I really liked,
Mm-hmm.
and it was it has dandelions and bees on it, and those are 2 of my favorite things.
Yes,
So
familiar.
I was like, I need this bottle. It would look so good. Like, I don't even know if I would drink it, but I need the bottle in my house. I
Oh,
really hope they can save
I
me
think
one.
I have some of those too.
What?
I don't have. I have the cool bottle things. Yeah, I have a Street Fighter energy drink and a Mega Man E-Tank energy drink that I have just for the box art, the bottle art. Since I don't actually drink non-coffee energy drinks. So we got you down for Tuesday Night Fights, hopefully.
Woo!
Yeah, Vampire Savior.
I mean, I don't think I'll have anything else to do.
Are you looking for work out there? I mean, probably not. Is it shelter at home there as well?
I mean, it's not as bad here.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been looking, like I've been applying places. I was applying before I got here, but all the places that I've been looking at, like, well, hang on to your application, but we're just not hiring right now. And these are all places that I heard were hiring, so I was like, maybe they're just suspending their hiring right now because of the stuff that was going on and for things extending until April, and I heard maybe May. Please no.
Yeah, we're till May 20th here, at least. Is it shelter at home there as well?
I don't think so.
All the bars open, everybody's partying?
No, they're not doing that. My favorite restaurant is closed, and I'm very sad.
My favorite restaurant and arcade is closed. It is a bummer. But we keep it open anyway.
Which is awesome.
We're finding a way.
Yeah. Well, of course. They've got to be innovative.
So tell us about the doggy.
Oh, her name is Roxanne, and she's the love of my life, and she's so sweet. She's a Springer Spaniel, and I love her. She's my baby.
I have more kittens myself.
Well, I always had dogs growing up, and I always wanted a cat, and I finally got a cat. I think I was in high school. I was in junior high or high school. And that cat ran away.
What?
I know, and every cat I've had following that, subsequently, I've either had to give up because I was moving or I couldn't take it with me, and there was a lot of just, it was too stressful for the cat to stay with me, so finding it a better home was the a better alternative, and it was always really heartbreaking and devastating. And then I had one cat that I had anticipated on keeping, but he never came home after he went outside. I was like, oh, that was disappointing.
Yeah, man, that sucks. I've had a few not cats, but pets get away, and it's never a good feeling. Where is
Hmm
this controller? So, I've been looking
And then,
into.
as you heard from last week, or was it last week or whatever week it was
Yeah,
that
it
I
all
was
feels the
on
same
here,
right
and there
now.
were all the I know, right? But there were the 5 dogs that I was with, my
Mhm.
sister's dogs.
Yeah.
So going from like cats, like dogs forever, and then I had cats for a really long time, and then back to just a bunch of dogs, and then now I have just one dog, and it's so nice and peaceful, and she is so sweet, and I love her.
Just one. Well, I mean, at least it's one you love.
Yes.
Until Dawn. That's the one they had me download. I wonder if I should probably look and see if it has like a bunch of updates.
Oh, I think I saw you guys playing that last night sometime.
I haven't played Until Dawn yet. I've never played this game before. Never heard of it. What I'm gonna do is play it and then let everybody else choose which way did I go. But
Ooh,
knowing
is
that
this
it's a
one of those, like,
PS4
choose your
game.
own stories?
Yeah, well, like it's. I don't know it. I've never played it before.
Hmm.
But I gather that, or I asked for one that people could choose paths. Let's see, adjust slider till logo is visible. Well,
Do you guys play indie games a lot?
what's that?
Do you guys play indie games a lot?
No, we've been playing arcade games a lot,
That makes-
for obvious reasons.
Well, yeah, I just meant recently, since you're playing different stuff.
Looks like
There-
I'm ready to go there.
Ooh, get it.
Yeah, we're set up for later then. But yeah, I'll just play and let everybody else choose the path that I take. So whether I'm good or evil or whatever, it'll be in the chat. That'll be what navigates us.
Mm. That'll be exciting.
And until then, I've got pinball. That's kind of cool. I can play in some games that you would hate, like Medieval Madness.
No, don't play without me.
You're right here. I'm not without you. You're right
Yeah, but
here.
that's something I can't play it. Okay, wait, can I play it if I download the thing? I had opened it up to do it, and then I was looking back at the Discord, or not the Discord, but the Twitch stream.
There's no way to play it with me, but why don't I put it on the background and you can
No, but
You
can I play it on my own computer if I download the Fight Kid thing?
not that one. Did I just get a virtual raspberry?
Yes, it did.
Nice.
That's what I have to say about that.
No, so apparently, the way that I downloaded these is no longer available. But since I got them years ago, I'm grandfathered in and I can still play. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Although if you can make it out here, we have the real deal. Actual authentic arcade machines. Whenever free play opens back up, is there a path for you to come back if free play opens back up?
Maybe.
Doesn't sound.
What's the timetable for that?
I wish we knew.
Yeah.
We're fighting hard. That's why we're soliciting donations at the link above. We're just digging the hole or keeping the hole as small as possible, as Corey has put it. I gotta find your picture. Where's your picture?
Grits.
What's that?
Said I forgot to make myself those grits.
I've had shrimp and grits. That was my birthday dinner. Copy.
Where did you go? Did you go to I Declares?
Actually,
If you
all the
didn't, you should go there.
places are closed, so
Well,
just
Oh.
sort of.
well, I didn't know if that was like a recent thing or if that was like on your last birthday or.
No. Tuesday. Tuesday was my birthday.
Ah, happy late birthday!
Thank you. There you go. Now you're on screen. Now I can go find some pinball with you with Medieval Madness. So, is that your favorite table, Medieval Madness?
It's that one and the Aerosmith pinball table.
Gotcha. I don't have that one, but I do have Medieval Madness.
Welcome to my realm.
And I have my mixer off, so I can hear the sounds, I think, but the chat cannot hear the sounds. I don't know. Chat, let me know if you can hear obnoxiously loud medieval madness sounds, because I certainly can.
I can't hear any sounds.
I am
Oh, wait, that's 'cause I
Merlin,
don't
wise and old. Listen
Yeah, I
up
don't
to
think
what
you
the
would hear it,
story-
so I might
Yeah, no,
have
I'm
to.
just listening to you through the Discord.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, as you should. So, why do you like this table?
It's really cool, and there's a lot of fun stuff that you can do with it.
I took on
Person myself. It's fun getting all the mechanics down and trying to get all the balls. What? It's been a while since I played it. Honestly, I'm trying to think back to it because we had to take it down, or take it out so that for repairs.
Uh-huh. But it was at Denton when you were there. I think it was at most of the locations when you've been there. So it's kind of followed you around.
And I think we have 2 tables, don't we?
At least, yes. Maybe 3.
Yes. So I feel like there was one in Denton, and then there was one in Richardson.
There's also a new
And-
one in Fort Worth.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I hadn't made it out there yet.
It's good. It's good.
Biggest regret of my life.
Well, if that's the biggest regret, then it's been okay.
Yeah.
We'll try and get Fort Worth back open, and you can take a picture on the cool rooftop.
Yes.
Yeah. So you like this table, and you don't remember? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. I'm like, it's just been a while since I got a chance to like really look at it and play it. I was playing a lot of Theater Magic in place of it.
I actually have that table as well.
Oh, that one's a lot of fun too.
Mhm.
For this one, I don't know. Really, all I would do is I would just get it in the castle over and over and over again, and that was my main goal. Because then, as soon as you collect all the castles, each time you hit it in is like 1,000,000 points.
It can be, yeah.
Yeah, and so I would just do that repeatedly, and anything else that I did was a bonus. Because hitting it up the ramps, especially that one, the dragon ramp, was always really tough for me. I don't think I ever got Damsel Madness when I was trying for it. Maybe like once or twice on accident.
See, I like
But-
I have the sounds turned off, but I like the damsels because that's where it was done by the Groundlings, or sorry, the voice work was done by the Groundlings. It's produced out in Chicago, so they got the local comedy troupe, the Groundlings, at a time in which Tina Fey was in the Groundlings, so she's the voice of one of the damsels.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can't
I
hear it,
like-
but the voice work is really good.
I like all of it. It's so fun, and if you see me playing it, like especially if the arcade is empty, even if there's people in the arcade, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like it doesn't matter who's there. I'll definitely quote along to the game as I'm playing it. Just
Oh,
'cause it's
yes.
fun.
Okay, favorite castle? Do you have one that sticks out? Because they each have their own attitude.
I know they're all snarky
Mm-hmm.
and they're fun. Let's see. There's Sir Psycho. There's the Duke of Bourbon. There's the.
There's the Earl of Ego.
Oh, yep.
Trying to think of the other ones.
I am
There's a
too.
French one too. I can't remember. I lost both of them at the same time.
Oh.
Boo.
Oh man. Okay, so that's 3 of them. 3 out
Are-
of 5, because there's also the King of Pain.
Yes, and that's the ultimate one, I believe. Which I've never actually defeated. I don't think I've defeated the King of Pain. I think I've gotten to the King of Pain once or twice.
I think I've gotten to his castle. Oh, Sir Francois de Grimm.
There you go. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you,
the one.
Yakov. Oh, and Lord Howard Hertz.
Mm-hmm.
And the Nubs. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Let me find the. I can bring the chat back over. I can cover up my face. I'm actually doing a thing I was doing the other day where I'm playing it while looking through the stream, which is very disorienting. Just maximum lag.
Oh, that sounds tough.
That's all right. At least I get to see the table. Man, I look at it and there's just a seemingly endless amount of pictures, and I guess I gotta keep Josh and Belt. No, I can remove Josh and Beltran's picture.
Once I get all settled in, I found my box. I almost forgot my N64 in in Rowlett because it was in a box that was in a closet that I hadn't checked. But I found it, and I've got that, and I found all these handheld consoles that I'd forgotten about, like my Game Boy Color and my DS. Oh no, it's my 3DS and my Game Boy Advanced SP. And I was like, wow, look at all these old games. They're not even that old. Like, comparatively to the games that I work with, these are very new.
Right, yeah. It's just your modern games, like your Game Boy Color. You can get your Pokemon Red and Blue on.
Oh yes. Oh yes. See,
Can finally catch them all.
Crystal was my favorite, honestly. I feel like the second gen of Pokemon was the best gen, especially because the Crystal series, that was when they first introduced moving sprites. That was when they had that had a higher I don't know about the games now because I haven't delved into the newer generations, but I know that at the time and for a few games afterwards, that one had the highest percent chance of getting a shiny, and you would get it from the daycare dude, and he would give you an egg, and that egg had the highest chance of getting a shiny in the game. And so I took that egg and I ran until I got a shiny Electabuzz, and it was awesome.
Did you I can't tell you how many hours I spent at my old job. I would get on the bike so that it would help hatch the eggs, and then just drive around like for hours. Yeah, I was playing in Ruby and Sapphire, like those were my first Pokemon.
Oh, those were good.
Yeah, on Game Boy Advance, and I caught all the Pokemon available at that time. This was even before Fire Red and Leaf Green brought back the Gen 1 Pokemon. But I do remember things like there's one fish, and I forget which one it was. Some version of, not the Magikarp, but I don't know, some I don't remember. But it was the hardest one to get because it was randomly on a specific square, a small percentage of the time. I think it may have been Feebas.
I remember that one being pretty tough to get, but I don't remember being that tough to get.
It was super hard on Ruby Sapphire.
I really wanted that Milotic too. It was pretty.
Yeah, the ones I ended up buying both because I couldn't play with anybody, so I bought both both Ruby and Sapphire so that I could trade back and forth to myself.
Did you have 2 Game Boys?
Yes, yeah, because I had a GameCube, and I could I think I had 2 because I had different generations of Game Boy Advances. They had that one that flipped. I had the NES style flip case one, and then an original model, and I also had it on the GameCube, the Game Boy Advance player.
Oh, neat. That's pretty cool. I have found my link cable recently.
Yeah, did you have someone to play with? Like I could never trade.
No, I've never played with anybody else in my life, but I kept the link cable.
Right. Okay, very similar to me. The only way I could play with people was to organize parties where we could all play Pac-Man versus together.
I don't know, like
I'm
none
truly
of the friends
awful
that
at this game.
Played with. Oh, yeah, no, it's okay. It's all good.
You would definitely beat me at this Medieval Madness.
No. I would try really hard to, though.
I'm sure you would. I'm scoring in the sub 4 million range.
No, maybe you're just out of practice.
Or maybe it's not real pinball.
Yeah, that's also true.
So if you could play one game right now, what would it be?
Well, watching you play this one really makes me want to play this one for sure. It's like, man.
I'm barely playing it. I'm really just launching the ball and have it instantly go down the center.
The only reason I wanted to get a Switch, since we're talking about games that I want, the only reason I wanted to get a Switch is it's not even for all the games that people would think that I would want it for, but it's for Snake Pass.
Snake Pass. I'm not familiar with that.
Oh my goodness, it's so cute. It's like Snake the game, but the graphics are way better. And you play as a little snake called Noodle, and like your little companion is a hummingbird that helps carry your butt whenever you're trying to like go too far or like reach certain places, and it's just the best. And I love him, and he makes little facial expressions that are so precious.
And it's nothing more than just snake on the inside.
I mean, it's a. I feel like not quite. It's really not quite that, because the whole point is like you're going around and it's like a three-dimensional place, that's got platforms and places for you to crawl around and wrap around, and the mechanics of the game are really neat too. Like just using the two different joysticks to control your body movement as a snake is
Mhm.
really interesting. And you just have to go collect these little baubles, like these glowing orbs. And I don't know if you actually get any bigger while you eat them.
Okay, so this doesn't sound at all like Snake. It does involve a snake, though.
It involves a snake, yes.
Okay,
that's it.
okay.
It's a snake, and you go pick up different things, and that's it. That's the only similarity. Yes.
I still can't break 4 million on Medieval Madness. This is so frustrating.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right.
Aim for the castle.
I am,
But
and I'm
that
still
drawbridge
draining it down
will-
the center.
Yeah, that drawbridge will do that to you. But yeah, I really wanted that game. I heard Breath of the Wild was beautiful.
Have you
But
have
I
you,
also heard it was expansive.
have you watched Ozark on Netflix yet? The chemist wants to know.
Is that the one with Jason Bateman?
I don't know. I've been streaming for a while, so my Netflix has been very limited. I have not watched Tiger King. I am about midway through season 3 of Castlevania when I get a chance.
If it's the one with Jason Bateman, then I haven't finished the last season of Castlevania. I need to go rewatch the entire series. But if Ozark
Me
has
too. It's
Jason
great.
Bateman in it, I'm supposed to start watching it soon. But first, I have to finish Hunter x Hunter, and I just started having to stream it over the internet instead of on Netflix, because they only have like 4 seasons on Netflix.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you were gonna say you don't have Netflix.
No, I have Netflix, but there's only 4 seasons
Mm-hmm.
on Netflix, and the rest of it is on Crunchyroll, but I don't have a Crunchyroll app on the Xbox, so I have to watch it over Internet Explorer.
Did you go to the Crunchyroll party that we had at Arlington?
No, I didn't know you had that. That sounds
Oh.
awesome.
Yeah, we had the official Crunchyroll Awards after party or something like that. Yeah, it was huge.
Oh man.
They spent like 40 grand on the party. It was nuts.
Seriously?
Yes. Yes,
And
the
I
amount
didn't
of
hear about it.
amount of prizes and stuff they had there were ridiculous. It was a free play Arlington, and we were supposed to have another Crunchyroll party as well, and then the world ended.
Free Play Arlington has a lot of really cool events, like the Space Invaders event. That anniversary is coming up because I saw it on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, thanks Snapchat memories.
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember the Space Invaders event, but like you said, there was a lot of them. So
There were cupcakes that Julie brought. I think it was Julie. I didn't get to know Julie too terribly well, but I heard she brought the cupcakes, and those cupcakes were bomb. Oh, now I'm hungry.
I can't even think about cakes right now, and I have a piece of cake right next to me. Would
I
you
was
like some
gonna
of my
make you-
3 birthday cakes?
Yes, please.
I have
oh
an
my
excess.
Lord.
If you can knock on the door, you will get a piece of birthday cake.
Ah.
Did you see them?
No, what kind of birthday cakes?
Kaylee made one of them. So it was a Kaylee Bakes Cakes cake.
Oh,
2 layers, monstrously big, Vietnamese coffee soaked.
oh wow.
Yeah, with a my color Dalsum.
I'm gonna
cookie.
cry. That sounds amazing.
It was / partially is because I'm still in the midst of eating it.
Is it like a tiramisu cake, but
Yeah.
ah.
Yes, it was very delicious, or is very delicious. There's still a piece right beside me.
Wow. How much is left? Send me a care package, Chris.
There is plenty left. I don't know how to get it to you though.
Care package.
I don't know what that means. tell you what. Next time you and Nate roll through,
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta have cake. Oh, I love cake. Oh, wow. I'm so sad.
it's gonna be. It's gonna be. Are you going? Are you and Nate gonna come back and like make it the bi-weekly trip? Just a normal thing.
I suppose so.
You'll have to get better at your ST game if you're rolling with Nate.
Oof. Oof. Yeah, I guess I will have to. I
I'm,
mean,
I'm,
I've been needing to get better for a while, but like, I guess now I have more motivation.
mm-hmm. Well, you definitely have somebody to talk to during the 5-hour trip with him.
Woo! Yeah, that trip is brutal.
I know. The man's
I
greatness.
listen to a lot of podcasts.
What's been your listening pleasure of late?
Well, normally I'll listen to the Thrilling Adventure Hour because there's a lot of different things on there that I can just sort through and pick the ones that I like, and it's got some variety to it. But this trip I was just listening to Welcome to Night Vale because they've been coming out with a lot and I'm super behind. So I started it over for the who knows how many at the time.
What
But
type
I've
of
also
podcasts are those?
Okay, so the Thrilling Adventure Hour is in the style of old time radio.
Excellent. That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah, I
I'm a
really
big
like
fan of
that
old time
one.
radio.
It's a lot of fun. It's storytelling. And the stories that I like the most are there's Sparks Nevada, Marshall on Mars, which is really interesting, and it has a Nathan Fillion guest star, and then I think like he runs with his own thing for a little while,
Mm-hmm.
which was really cool to see. And then there's another one called um oh shoot, what's it called? Beyond Belief. There's
Mm-hmm.
Beyond Belief, which is the about Frank and Sadie Doyle, and they're married mediums, and they're ridiculous. And the whole thing about them is they're just like constantly drinking martinis, and there's like this little noise in the background that's always like them clinking their drinks together after they've made some witty remark.
Mm-hmm.
And I love them. That one's amazing. But I think my favorite one by far for that one is probably Down in Moonshine Holler, which is about a bachelor. I can't remember what his name was originally. He was like a billionaire type of fellow, and then he gave it all up to become a hobo named Banjo Bindlesticks, who is after the hand of the hobo princess. And it's just him searching for the hobo princess, and it's a lot of fun. I like those stories. Welcome to Night Vale is it's told in the style of a radio show in Night Vale, which is this really crazy um like Lovecraftian esque town in the middle of the desert, and just weird stuff happens there all the time.
Yeah, man, I need to get me into some. I need to in a future where I have infinite time, which is not now. I need to get back into podcasts because I'm a old school. Like when podcasts first became a thing, I listened to a lot of podcasts, which I don't. Some are and some are not still around. Like I would listen to Film Spotting was my favorite movie podcast. I know that's still around. It's like an NPR show now, so they went legit and got hired and stuff. It's Just Banner. We had one of the co-hosts, TC Fleming of It's Just Banner, on about a week ago today, I want to say. So he did a segment with us. Who else did I listen to? Adam Carolla, when he first started, actually before he first started doing his podcast. I don't listen anymore, but I definitely had some times when he was one of the slated replacements for the West Coast replacement for Howard Stern when he went off the air. And I ended up listening to his show and then he was on Loveline. I would listen to some old Lovelines from the archive podcast style. So big fan of podcasts, and I listen to Serial like everybody else did. So I don't know if you listened to that one. Were you listening to podcasts like that back in the day?
No, I really wasn't into podcasts for a really long time, honestly. Like, they just didn't appeal to me. And then the podcasts that I got into, I got, like, really into.
Yeah, that's typically how it works.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of Lost back in the day, the ABC television series.
Oh no, no,
Yes, I was.
no! I had so many. Okay, I say I had so many. I had one friend in particular who was obsessed with that show, and she keeps trying to get me to watch it. I'm like, no, I don't want to fall down the rabbit hole. I don't want to become like you. I'm so mad. She was insane for months.
It was very good. A very good like the pilot is one of the best I've ever seen. And well acted throughout. Very very good show. But I would
I
and
heard
there's
mostly-
lots of Easter eggs and stuff. It's got a sci-fi tint to it because Damon Lindelof, the main writer, there was about a 5-year period where I swear every movie that came out after Lost was written or co-created by Damon Lindelof. Lindelof, who was responsible along with J.J. Abrams for the creation of Lost, and that includes like the reboot of Star Trek. I want to say he had some stuff to do this with Star Wars, but I don't 100% know that. The Aliens remake. Wow, I've got the ball launcher stuck somehow on this pinball table. I've broken I temporarily broke my virtual pinball table. Andy, come fix it.
Oh no.
Got a flipper stuck.
Womp womp. How do you do that on a virtual pinball table?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. But yeah, Lost, very good. Does it hold up? Yes, but also every show that's been released since then, including all of them, have emulated Lost's style. So it'll feel much more like a contemporary modern drama, especially sci-fi. Anyway,
I'm finally making those grits. I'm finally doing it. Oh, speaking of things that I've made, I also made butter when I got here.
Did you say you
Because
made
what
butter?
else am I gonna do?
Well, I
I
found that
made my
that's-
own butter. I got some heavy whipping cream and I put it in a jar and I shook that jar until it became butter. After I mixed some seasoning in it to make it taste better. Because I'm cool like that.
So you're telling me life in Kansas is walking endlessly through a sunny field and making butter? That
Yes.
sounds. I hope the podcast stick with you.
It's a simple living.
Mhm.
It's not much, but it's honest work.
I'm getting better. I'm over the 4 million threshold now. I'm starting to blow up castles and stuff.
Yeah, get it, son. Oh, you got a high score?
I did. I'm not at my personal high
nice,
score of
nice.
61 million, apparently. I'm not sure when I pulled that one
really?
off.
I can't remember my personal best, but it's somewhere.
Looks like
Shoot, I don't
All right.
remember.
General has some pinball podcasts. So Slam Tilt podcast, Pinball Profile, Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, the Pinball Players podcast. Holy cow, he listens to a lot of them. Gambling with an Edge. That's a pinball podcast. Meltdown
Lordy.
Pinball podcast. Super awesome pinball show. Do or Die pinball podcast. Sounds like he is not a fan of Pinballers podcast.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. That's a lot of podcast listening. No, Gambling and Edge has something to wrestle with. Oh, okay. So there's 2 non-pinball podcasts in there. That's good diversifying. Pinballers, we haven't released as an audio podcast yet, although we should.
Tiger.
Because it's always meant to be a podcast. Just a live podcast.
I've always thought about making a podcast, but I don't know what I would talk about.
I mean,
I think I'm hilarious, but
I would say arts. If you want to have an art podcast, I will contact the other artists I know, and see if we can set it up and be happy to host it right here. Because I really
That'd be
really
pretty fun.
enjoyed your art show. In fact, why don't you put it in the group? Because you guys are you still in the were you cast out of the free play art group?
No, not at all. I haven't been able to be as active in it as I would have liked. Like, all I've been able to participate recently is just commenting and trying to give constructive criticism and feedback to the other artists in the group. I haven't been able to post or make anything myself recently, but I don't feel like that makes me any less active.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you put it to the group, and y'all are willing to talk art for half an hour or an hour, and you could probably, I would bet an hour could be done if you guys are still posting doodles and stuff that you don't mind being shown and reacting to live. Although
Yeah,
that's
I'll
of course like
definitely revise
up to the artist always. It's always up to the artist. But if that's something you guys are comfortable with, I would be very very happy to host a show while I'm stuck in here doing nothing into eternity.
Well, I'll definitely ask them about it. Like I said, I kind of fell off a little bit. I haven't been posting very much, but I will definitely be like, hey guys, what are you doing? What are you guys up to?
Mm-hmm.
You just want to do a little art corner?
Yeah, here's
show?
how I could do it. Whatever like sketches you guys are comfortable displaying on screen and talking about, I can.
We have a website for it.
Yeah, you can. Okay, you can link me to the website or whatever it is you would need to give me the assets here, and I could be producer while you guys ran the show and talked art because I can't follow the. That's one thing. I was doing a lot of smiling and nodding as you were doing the Karisa art show and had a ton of good insight into cool techniques that I was like, what? That's a thing?
Yeah, I probably wasn't explaining it very well either.
No, you were doing great.
Oh, thanks, I
I will
appreciate
fight
it.
someone who said you weren't doing a good job of explaining it because I had no idea what you're talking about, and yet I felt like I did.
Oh, well, perfect. That's kind of what I was going for.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, hot dog. Oh boy, I'm so hungry. And these grits take 5 minutes to make, but they didn't tell me how long it was going to take to boil water. I'm impatient.
Just put more wood on the fire. Do you guys have running power?
We do. We actually have light bulbs. There's electricity up here.
Nice. Way to go. I thought that was
I know.
only on like
And-
the Air Force Base.
I know. Thankfully, you know what else?
Mhm.
There is only one toilet, but the water
Bidet?
runs. We all have to use the same watershed to use the bathroom. Now, I have my own bathroom.
Oh,
I
congrats.
live in an apartment. It's very nice.
Is that where you're staying at? An apartment?
Yeah, and it's got like granite countertops.
Nice.
I'm a big fan of nice countertops. The first time I went to IKEA, I was surprised by how interested I was in just the countertop.
I can't do IKEA. I can't.
But
I get lost.
I don't know if you've ever like seen a nice countertop, like those really nice wooden ones that also double as a cutting board. Heck yeah.
I haven't seen that because we have like 40 different cutting boards at my place.
Oh man. What do you need all the cutting boards for?
My roommate likes to cook, and she likes I don't know, unitasking items. So she has a lot of very specialized things that only like cut this one thing or dedicated to a task. Now sometimes it's really cool. Like I had the 3.5 gallon cold brew device. That's really cool. And then sometimes it means like I'm picking up an item and I'm like, what is this? And she's like, it's the piece to something that does, I don't know, who knows what. I can never figure it out. It's just some individual cooking task.
Mm-hmm.
So not a very efficient use of space, but nevertheless.
I mean, whatever works.
Mm-hmm. If I can just hit the troll, I can get troll madness.
Get him! Get him!
I'm trying, but I can't aim. It's virtual pinball. It's not actual pinball.
I know, it's tough. It's tough.
Get that troll. Get him. I saved a damsel, if that means anything. Ah, boo. Troll expired.
It happens sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So why Aerosmith pinball?
Next time, though. Next time. Huh?
Why Aerosmith pinball? Because you like Aerosmith pinball, remember?
Oh, yeah. Why do I like Aerosmith pinball? Because it's the coolest, and there's a really cool mechanic where the ball will jump into the toy box, and then you can get up to 6-ball multi-ball, and it's insane.
General Yegov, just subscribe to the Free Play podcast. I don't know if we'll be able to make one anytime in the near future, as I'm no longer employed, and Matt and Gabby, the videographers, are no longer employed. I will say I checked in with Matt and Gabby last night because we became friends. Like it was certainly more than a professional relationship, which is something that I tend to do to people. I do like being actual friends as opposed to just coworkers.
Oh yeah, it makes things it makes things both more fun and also more difficult.
Right. Well,
Because like when you have a problem with like your friend at work, it becomes a lot harder to be like, hey, I think you're messing up here. Whereas if they're just a coworker, you'd be like, hey, you're messing up here.
gotcha.
But you've got to also like have a really good communication like with your friends. Like if you know how to communicate with your friends efficiently, then usually it's not an issue.
Right. That's where I am.
But yeah, I would much rather have friends at work than
Yeah,
just coworkers.
I refuse to date somebody that I work with. I've been down that road before, and that's bad. But friends, yeah. And I work so much, or I did work so much, and still do in my non-job job, that it's not like I have a lot of time to go and hang out, even if we could go and hang out, which we really can't. So it's not like there's that level between, well, we're friends or we're friendly, but we don't really hang out much. I really can't hang out that much with anybody, sadly.
Yeah,
So
you're too busy for that.
it sounds awful to say it that way, but kinda, yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I think your friends just need to understand, and I think your closest friends especially do, that you put a lot of time and energy and effort into your job and all these other responsibilities that you have. And I don't think anyone should blame you for not having time for that. Like, they just need to understand, like, the times that they do get to spend with you just mean a lot.
Yeah, and they tend to as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's part of the reason why I got this house that has an extra bedroom that we could flash the Free Play away game studio in with extra rooms, because if I invite someone over, Nate comes in from Kansas, he can stay at my place, and that's extra time I get to spend with someone that I care about,
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
And by the way, the invitation's definitely open to both of you.
Say again?
The invitation is definitely open to both of you. You're not...
Oh,
I'm
well,
not
thank you.
so anti-Kansas that I can't hang with my Kansas friends when they come down. I actually have more. The old Manhattan, Kansas KSU group. So back in my day, my Tekken days when I traveled around, there was a crew of Tekken players that traveled all around the Midwest from Manhattan KSU University. And the really unique thing about this crew was Anjana, aka Tekken Chick, was the ringleader, the one who got them all to go around, and this entire crew was all women. I'm talking 10, 12 deep. And they'd all traveled to tournaments together in the 90s. 90s/early 2000s. It was unique to say the least. And,
yeah, I can imagine.
And they have some crazy stories. All right, 26 million. I'm getting better. I almost got the 5 jackpots on the castle multi-ball, which lets you storm the castle, or I think it's the King's
Oh,
Ransom. Get the
yeah.
King's Ransom. Yeah.
Yes, get it, get it. Get all the things.
All right, that's second all time. Thanks for spending all this time with us, Karisa.
Say again?
Thank you for spending all this time with us, Karisa.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me. It's been really nice talking and catching up and seeing how everybody's doing.
Yeah,
And to
no.
everybody being you mostly. But it was nice to talk to Jesse and Beltran a bit too. I am making my third cup of coffee for today.
I'm right there with you. Surprise, surprise.
What? Yeah, I was like, what number cup are you on?
I don't really count the cups, lest I freak out. Let's see. Matt says, "Miss you guys. We should do some podcasts remotely or something. Maybe some other content too. Save free play." Matt, if you're listening to me, you have a volunteer who is 100% willing to do that. We just heard about how General just subscribed to the podcast. Whether it's we do it live here, we do it over Discord, however you want to do it. We're doing a ton of content right now, but they in many cases they've left us the keys, and we have some extra time on our hands. So if you want to do stuff, Matt, I miss you, and I miss Gabby, and I miss working with you, and I would happily do it on the side, and I'll make time for it if you guys want to.
Man, I only got to do the podcast one time, and it was really intimidating with all the equipment there. And then also, I was trying to finish up my makeup when I realized that they'd started recording, and I got really self-conscious really fast. It's like, oh God, they're not gonna have that in there, right? Nobody's gonna see me doing my makeup on the podcast.
Yeah, Ian says.
And they did not.
Ian says, "Join in, Matt." Matt, absolutely. Why don't you join in on the voice chat line if you have the ability? It's in our Discord. It's special guests on stream. We would love to hear your voice.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was still a lot of fun. Just being a part of it and seeing how a whole podcast, an actual legitimate podcast, is made. It was really cool. Everyone was super nice.
Well, that's the thing about Matt, is he's a professional. I'm doing my best, but Matt's a professional, trained, and knows exactly what he's doing. And you feel it too. Even when I was self-conscious, he would always be good at I'd say, no, that was great, or that wasn't so great. Let's redo it. His professionalism was always on display. The equipment was always set up in an amazing way, as opposed to haphazardly throwing together the free play away game studios, which I don't know if you would be so comfortable in here, or you might be more comfortable because it's just somebody's college dorm room setup. Don't know how you feel about that. All right. Okay, so Matt at least says we'll get something. Give him a call when we're all streaming. We'll get some stuff organized. Okay, but also you're more than welcome to join us in on and just have your voice be heard. We're talking about you anyway, so might as well have your voice heard. But I thought so. You weren't when you did the podcast the one time. I was not on the podcast, correct? Karisa? She might be deep in grits right now.
Oh, sorry, I forgot I had to do push to talk. No, you were not there. It was me and Chris and Corey. Or no, not Chris. Yes. Also, thank you, Matt. I really appreciate that. He said I did great.
Yeah, and you did do great, and I knew you would do great. Here's how you know how I feel about you. You're on the show now. I keep asking you to come back. I knew you were going to be great. I always thought to have you on, or felt like it would be a good option whenever we could. And then I was kind of devastated that it was a time when I could not do it. I forget what it was that meant. A lot of times I would get the podcast tossed on me at the last minute or after the last minute, and I would have to do Tuesday night fights or something like that. So it was a difficult proposition. However, I knew you were good to go anytime that I could convince you to join us on the podcast. So when it finally happened and I wasn't able to be there, I was so like bummed out that I wouldn't get to have that experience with you. So I'm very thankful for these moments where I don't know, you're joining me now on the air and I get to talk to you here.
It has been a lot of fun, and I'm really appreciative that we get to do it too.
Yeah.
I never realized how much I would enjoy like being a part of the stream and just like talking about stuff. Like I never thought that doing something like that on camera would be something that appealed to me, but ever since I started doing it with you at Fight Nights, it was just a lot of fun, and I liked it a lot more than I expected.
You were amazing on Tuesday Night Fight, so hoping to have you back for Vampire Savior this Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like fun. You said it's 7.
Just like every Tuesday Night Fights.
Yeah, 7 is always.
Yeah, apparently Snuggleguns, he played in Tuesday Night Fights King of Fighters 98, and he won a Vampire Savior tournament in the exact same time. Like he was doing both tournaments at the same time.
Wow, wait, what?
I know, right? Because you're online remote, so you can just jump into this match and that match. He managed to win a Vampire Savior tournament while also competing in King of Fighters with us.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah, well, he is kind of amazing. That's a good dude. I still have never wizard moded this table either. I will take a wizard mode on the virtual pinball table. Although I do better in the real pinball table than I am on this one. Unless I'm doing a video or a pinball tutorial while Matt films it at the same time. I think at the other end of this, I will get very good at talking while I play games at the same time.
I can have a really hard time focusing while I'm playing games and having a conversation.
Same. It helps to have people like you around whom I can just bounce stuff off of, and like you're naturally a good conversationalist. That's the bartender gig, I would imagine. So that makes it much
I've had a lot
easier.
of practice.
Yeah, that's much easier. And that's part of the reason why I always wanted you to be a Tuesday Night Fights commentator with us. It wasn't, believe it or not, it wasn't because of your elite Vampire Savior skills.
For some reason, I believe you.
No, but you always did a great job of driving the conversation. Your cosplays were both, like I was happy to have them, and also it was unexpected. I'm sad I wasn't there for your...
really excited about things.
Yeah, I'm sad I wasn't there for your JoJo's championship, your final one.
Yeah, pretty much. I was really excited.
Yeah, no one knows the
And I
George
felt like
Wars
that shirt was perfect for the vibe.
Yeah, for sure. I remember thinking there was something wrong with the projector at Fort Worth when I first saw it, because I was at Fort Worth when you guys were doing it. And I had it up there, but like, you look like you were in black and white, and everybody else looked like they were in color. I'm like, what's happening here?
Palette shift.
Yes, that's what it looked like. So it was a good effect. Looked cool on camera.
I'm glad I kind of matched what I was going for. That's kind of funny and all. But yeah, I'm gonna miss it because honestly, I got up here and then I've been thinking about it. It's like, what am I gonna get dressed up for?
I mean, we have Tuesday Night Fights. Might as well, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a webcam? We could do a call-in. I'm getting dressed up every day, as if I'm going to work, with the exception of the shoes.
I haven't been doing my makeup, but I am surprised that I have been getting dressed every day. Like, I've been changing my outfit every day, even though no one...
Yeah, it's a good habit. It's a very, very good habit. Like, just stick with what you do. Keep your morning routine intact as if you're going to work, because otherwise we're going to go insane. And some of us are going insane. But here's my Guile Whiff shirt.
I think it's mostly, like, I have to change my outfit because I have to walk the dog. And I don't want the neighbors to see me wearing the same outfit 2 days in a row.
So we have a request from the chat.
Well, I guess I'll go ahead and change.
Karissa, what's your best Palmer story?
All right, my favorite color, it varies. Sometimes it's pink, and sometimes it's cyan, and sometimes it's purple and green. But other times it's lime green, and sometimes it's not.
There's your Penelope question.
And then best Palmer moment. I don't know. There were a lot. He would usually just come up and he'd stand up at the bar. Oh no, I know. The best Palmer moment was, I'm pretty sure Derek dressed up for Palmer for Halloween, and that was.
Yeah, that was excellent. The Palmer cosplay of Derek, right next to Palmer.
And you walk around the arcade and you see the two of them, and you're like, am I in an episode of The Twilight Zone? Is there a time loop going?
They're both hitting on you for some reason.
No. It's really funny because we used to joke about we wouldn't really ever say anything appropriate, but even if it sounded like it could be borderline inappropriate, we're calling HR.
Yeah. Well, I have Kelsey's number if you need to call HR on him.
I know, and they were like, "You really want to call Kelsey about that?" And we're like, "No." Yeah, so it was fun. We like to joke around back there. Behind the bar. Behind the scenes of your favorite bar.
Yes. That was part of why I like the Free Play Richardson Bartender Roundtable. Wish I didn't fall asleep during the Free Play Arlington Bartender Roundtable. That was a tough one.
Yeah, the Richardson one was fun.
How long did you work at Alamo?
It was off and on, but I worked there for a little over 2 years, and then I came back seasonally.
Uh-huh.
And that was oh man, it was exhausting. And I don't really know that much about movies. And you'd think that going into a theater, I would have learned a lot more about movies than I did, but really, I learned a lot about beer. And that's what made me live.
Did you... What role did you work in? Were you working in the theaters? Were you working behind the bar?
No, I didn't work behind the bar. I had to work... I say I had to. I worked in the theater. I was a server. Not before I was a support, who is just someone who helps support the server, essentially.
Yeah, I don't know too much about... All I know about people who... All I know about the Alamo staff is that there are people who come to grab your order when you write it down, right? And then there is a bar that'll wait on you. Is it over the... I forget what it's called in Richardson. The name of the bar. But regardless, they have a bar connected.
Glass half full.
Okay, yeah, glass half full, yeah. So there's that staff as well. And then there's people who yell corner whenever you're trying to go to the bathroom. And that's it.
Yeah, we have to yell corner because sometimes we'd be turning a corner with a large tray of glass in our hands. And I've definitely dropped a tray of glass or two, sometimes with glasses. Mm-hmm. Not always. Sometimes it's just like trays of water, and that's always the best thing that you could hope for, is because you don't want to be responsible for having to clean up 3 broken milkshakes and then telling the people in the bar in the back that they need to make 3 of those milkshakes again.
Yeah.
Because that's never fun.
So you were a server in the middle of a movie.
Oh yeah, no, that's always a nightmare. But typically it usually happens in the hallways, and that's why the corner thing, I'm sure, became so prevalent, is to avoid that.
Mm-hmm. I assumed it was like institutional, like part of the training.
Oh yeah, they teach it to us.
Yeah.
So that we don't have that happen.
Yeah, it was much too regular for it not to be a part of training. But you worked in the theaters then.
Yeah, I did. But we have a rotating beer list, and we had to stay up to date with all the beers in in the building. Like we would have to come in, and one of the first things that we're supposed to do is write down a list of all of the beers that we have, and then update the 86 list. So that's why I say 86 fun. The 86 list is just a list of things that we don't have. If we run out of something, it's 86. So yeah.
What was
And
it?
so we had to know about those beers, and then people would want to ask us about those beers, and so we had to know what kind of beer they were and what they tasted like, and if they were really beer heavy, for like you'd be surprised how beer heavy the training is for a theater.
Yeah. Well, I went to Hopped Up Cinema quite a few times.
Oh my god, I love Hopped Up Cinema.
Me too, and I don't
Except
drink.
working.
Yeah, I would go every time I get an opportunity to. Although two things, maybe not do Hopped Up Cinema anymore. One, Bishop Cider Night had me out,
Boo.
and then what was the other one? There was a price increase, and I understand that they were including like 6 drinks, but I wasn't drinking them. And also one more thing.
That's fair. That's
yeah.
fair. I mean,
Well,
for
but-
me, Hopped Up Cinema was tough, like working it. 'Cause
Well, they changed like the art. So Beth Bacon was doing the art on some of the glasses.
she was, and it was awesome.
It was. I have some of her glasses back here.
I do also.
You'll see me like occasionally. In fact, I have, the Warriors right here. This is my Hopped Up Cinema glass. So
Nice,
I was
nice.
digging it, but then they took it back to corporate, I guess.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing because it was always fun watching the designs she'd come up.
Yeah, I like to support my local artists.
And you do a great job of that.
I do the best I can.
Even you're not so local artists.
Yeah, I feel bad when I'm giving you $5 for a nice doodle, which is
mean,
certainly
yeah, but
worth
you-
more to me.
Well, you said, here's $5, what can I get me? And I mean, that's really, honestly, that's based on the amount of effort that I feel like putting in for the price that you gave me.
Yeah.
And I felt like putting in a little bit more effort because
Yeah.
I started and I could.
No, I very much appreciate it. I don't know.
I'm
As
really
someone who
satisfied
can't
with how it came
do
out.
art himself, like I really appreciate people who can. In fact, let's plug your stuff again. It's at Bandit Keith on Instagram, correct?
Yes, sir. Or no. Actually, on my Instagram, it's my art tag. Bandit Keith is my gamer tag.
Right. It's
Um,
okay. Let me put it up here. Here, I'll let this ball drain. Straw ball 3.
Yeah, it took me a second. I was like, yeah, Bandit Keith, my favorite. I just
Sorry.
use that for everything now. And I read it on my Discord just now, so I was like, yep, that sounds about right.
All right. GH the number O ST FL the number 3 SH. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
There you go. It's
Go
up on
Spot.
screen right now. So yeah, that's your Instagram, and if people want some of that Karisa art, that's where you go.
Yeah, fun fact, while we were talking about Alamo, I picked up the phrase, like, saying, yes, sir, when people ask me something, or I'm just like, from Champ Jones, one of my managers at Alamo. And I really like Champ Jones, and Champ Jones is a lot of fun because Champ Jones had a lot of nicknames. Because he's never
like
just Champ. It's always, well, yeah. And his name, it's never Champ, it's always Champ Jones, and then it's not ever just Champ Jones. It's Champ Jones, aka the Prince of Dallas, aka the Boy Wonder, aka Lil Usher, aka Girlfriend's Boyfriend, aka you already know what it is.
Uh-huh.
And that's his full name.
Sounds like a certain wrestling celebrity I know, whom shall go unnamed because I only have so much breath.
That's fair. That's fair. We don't need to get too tired this early in the day.
Oh, tell me about it. Don't need another blowout like yesterday.
Oh no.
Yeah. The show actually ended early yesterday, or it didn't, but that was thanks to Ian and the wrestler who shall not be named. But what was
It's
it?
nice to have great friends, huh?
So I wanted to ask, what's it like delivering stuff in a theater, like that's moving with a movie, and like that sounds like the most disorienting thing.
It's
I'm
so
always.
distracting, and it's so difficult because sometimes, well, not always. Sometimes the movie's really bad,
Mhm.
and you don't care what's on the screen. And sometimes the movie is really good, and you still don't want to see what's on the screen because you're like, nope, nope. Because if you watch it, you're gonna ruin it. And typically, after you work the same movie 4 times a day for a week, you kind of figure out what's going on, and you don't care about the movie anymore.
Uh-huh.
And that's tough, especially if it was a movie you were really excited about.
Gotcha. Would you catch it beforehand just so that you got to experience it cleanly?
You could try. You could try.
Uh-huh. Would they make that available?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes they have employee screenings that are pretty much reserved for the employees so they can have a chance to watch the movie before they have to work it. Because, like I said, once that movie comes out, there's pretty much no free time. Like, there's like, well, we want you to have a chance to like see what's going on so that you don't get distracted, because that will definitely happen.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
All right. What's the most distracting movie you've ever had to work through?
I don't know, any Marvel film. Anything with lots of explosions and loud noises. The best kind of films are the films that are really bright, because it is so dark in that theater, and trying to read that's like, I love DC, and that's why I hate to say that, like, the DC movies are terrible because they're so dark.
Yes.
Like, you can't see anything. Like, just the whole movie in entirety, like, it's dim, the color palettes are like just browns and reds and like not bright ensembles. They changed all of the really bright outfits and they're all toned down, and I'm like, I can't see, okay? And then I go from the theater, which is very dark, to the hallway, which is less dark, and I'm like, wow, I'm blind. This is it.
Yeah. So does that light that's in the bar like extend to the server area so you can see? Because I know the trick of like putting the note card underneath the bar and then there's a light there. That way, Karisa doesn't have to come around and start yelling at me for bringing my phone out as a flashlight.
Mm-hmm.
Does that extend to the waitstaff as well? Do you have a light down there that you can see, potentially?
I mean, all the way in the server station behind the theater, or not like behind the theater, but like, and when you walk in, you can see there's a place that they put the food and the drinks as you're coming in.
Wow,
And there's a light there, but other than that,
that's not what I was thinking. Okay, so there's nothing like no ambient light in the walk place for the servers. That's rough.
not a whole lot. No, not really that bright, aside from the like stuff that you would normally see in a theater, so that you don't trip over the steps.
Yeah, for a patron, like you just take that slip and put it up underneath your seat, and it lights up. So that was always nice. Although I did see people pull out their phones anyway. Did you ever throw anybody out for pulling out their phone? Or is that a big bluff of Alamo that they will actually do that?
Oh no, they'll definitely do it. They'll definitely do it. The worst part about it though is that the people who know about it and are sneaky. Like, I will never forget. I went to see. It was when I was still working there, and I was super excited to watch Repo the Genetic Opera, and I picked the perfect seat. It was the middle seat in the handicap row, but I knew I could take it because it was like 10 minutes into the movie itself was about to start, and I was like, okay, it's fine. No one's gonna take this seat, and I'm not gonna have to get up. And I'm secluded on both sides by like 4 spaces worth of seats, so it's literally perfect for me. Like, I don't have to worry about nobody. And so, yet somebody, this one couple to my left, just, I don't know what it was, but they made it their goal to just ruin that movie for me because they were so loud, and I put up like 3 order cards, and I saw the manager, like, they kept like walking out by my row to catch them in the act of it so that they could like give them a warning or like kick them out, because I know that they would. But every time the manager was there, like fly on the wall, like trying to catch them doing it, they stopped talking. But every time they started talking, it was loud enough for me to hear over all that space. I was so annoyed.
Why not go to AMC? Like in the face of Alamo, with the rules of Alamo, right? Like, for me, it's like every other theater is just advertising, hey, yell in our movies. You've been doing it all along. Like there's plenty of movie theaters I could go to and pull out my phone and be a disruptive jerk. I mean, that's practically what Cinemark lives on.
Exactly.
So I go to Alamo so I can have a good experience, hopefully.
Why would you go to the trouble of coming all the way to my theater
Mm-hmm.
and then just ruining it?
Let's see. I did have my party get warned at Hopped Up Cinema. They may have had a bit too much to drink. So here's how it would work. Do you know Sarah? Do you know
Sarah?
my friend Sarah? You may or may not. Some people in the audience will know her. That's my best friend. She's a bit diminutive. She's about 5'1", 5 foot tall, something like that. And she's my best friend. She does drink. I do not drink. We usually would go with her, and her one of her coworkers would occasionally join us for Hopped Up Cinema.
Sorry, I had some technical difficulties. I'm back.
It's okay. I'll just keep finishing the story. So they would give us 5, 6 beers for Hopped Up Cinema, and then I would get them too. I would prepay for the beers and just enjoy the show. You know, I want to go see the Warriors. That was actually the first time I'd seen the Warriors in theaters as part of Hopped Up Cinema. And then I would just pass along the beers. Like, there you go, Sarah. There you go, Sarah. So she gets 12 beers in front of her, and she's 5 foot tall. So one of those days, she may have gotten a little bit belligerent. We didn't quite get thrown out, but she got sternly warned.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
It happens that way sometimes.
Well, it's also tough whenever it's a movie like a Rocky Horror-esque movie that encourages it.
Or like a scary movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's really tough because there was this one lady who came to see this one scary film, and she kept screaming at everything, and it was hilarious. I was thoroughly enjoying myself. But the other people in her row kept getting really upset, and they're like, "Can you tell her to, like, stop?" I was like, "You want me to tell her to stop being scared? Like, she can't fucking help it, dude. It's not like she's doing it to inconvenience you. She's doing it because it's involuntary and it's a scary movie."
Right. I've never had that experience. Like, if somebody's laughing at a comedy, then they must find it funny.
Exactly. Like, I don't know. It's just some of the people there can get really pretentious, and that's not something that you would see, like, unless you worked there, because we're not gonna go tell a guest like, "Hey, you're screaming too loud. Okay, we're gonna need you to suck it up."
I had
We would never say that.
Right. I would. You can scream as loud as you want at a horror movie that I'm watching with you. I would never report you for that. Now
I feel like
I would
that's
turn in my own
acceptable.
friend for pulling out their phone and texting during a movie. How would you have handled that? So Heather, whom you've never met, literally would pull out her phone everywhere, right? And I took her to Alamo. She's just a friend. And of course she pulled out her phone because she would. And I was like, "You need to put that away." And she's like, "I'm just sitting with you. Like, you're the only one here." I'm like, "Yes, that's why we're at Alamo, so that we don't have the phone. I'm reporting you." And I literally like filled out the card that was like my next door. My friend here won't stop texting. How would you, if Karisa was the one to catch that message, and it's literally just the two of us in one whole row of the theater, and one of them reports the other, and they're clearly sitting together on the same ticket, what would you do?
Oh man, I would laugh. I would look at him and I would look at her and I would look at the note and be like, "Hey, come on now, like you look at what you're doing here. Like, you're wasting my time, you're wasting your time." Like, I have to give him like the disapproving dad look.
Who's getting admonished? Me for writing the note, or my
Definitely
friend for
her.
still?
Definitely her.
Okay.
Like, she knows the rules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was she I think she was trying to call my bluff, and then at the point that she realized it was not a bluff and I was literally putting up the card, she put it away finally.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I get it. See, that drawbridge really is the worst.
Once it goes down, or
No, just in general, the fact that it exists. Like, I really took for granted the drawbridge not working
right.
on Medieval Madness. Oh, and like looking at it work now, I'm like, "Ooh, buddy, I was so spoiled."
Yes,
what?
that's the weird thing about Medieval Madness is when the castle breaks, the players generally prefer it because it makes the table easier.
So much nicer. Oh yeah.
I like the challenge though. Give me the challenge. I don't want a game that's gonna last forever.
I do. How else am I gonna get the high score?
All right. Let's
I'm
see.
not gonna get the world high score. I looked it up. It's like in the 700 millions, and I haven't even hit 200 million yet. Ugh.
All right. So our box says pretty much any talking in a movie is a no-no. When do you feel like it's appropriate to talk in a movie?
During the commercials.
During the commercials of a movie?
Only during
I
the
like it.
previews. Like during the previews, be like, oh, I want to see that film. We have to see that film. That film looks really stupid. And then after that,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Karisa says STFW.
yeah.
What about I don't know. Alamo would have quote-alongs, but what about like stupid movies that tend to be that way? How do you feel about quote-alongs? How about that?
They're fun. I do have to say, I went to the Tremors movie party
Mhm.
and quote along, and I was super fucking stoked. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Pardon my French.
You're fine. It's
Um,
after 9 somewhere.
Yes, true. That is so true.
It's probably after 9 in Kansas. Not sure.
How did you know?
Mm-hmm.
9 a.m., right?
Of course.
Oh, yeah, but I was so excited to go and I was so ready to quote along with everybody. But they didn't have the words up. And a lot of the times they will have the words up for the quote alongs.
Right. I had that for the what was it? Princess Bride quote-along. They had the words up.
This one didn't have the words up and nobody else was saying anything. So I also didn't say anything and that was very disappointing.
That is disappointing. Was it
Yeah.
officially billed as a quote-along?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
I don't think it was just movie party.
Mm-hmm. I would go to the back when they did it, the Christmas Eve showing of Die Hard,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that so much. They would give us cap guns so that we could shoot at either John McClane or the terrorist, our choice.
Hey.
There was something surreal about watching the shootout scenes of Die Hard on Christmas Eve, of course, and the smell of gunpowder is like all through the theater whenever there's an action sequence.
Right.
Definitely heighten the experience. Some of them are weird though, like a Star Wars movie where they give you the little lightsabers to wave around. That just got weird.
I don't know. I always thought they were fun. Sometimes they would give you like inflatable swords.
Right.
I always thought the really weird ones were the scratch and sniffs.
What?
Like once they
I
started
went to that one.
introducing those, oh yeah, they had those for a few different ones. Like I definitely got one for a Little Shop of Horrors, and I definitely got one for what's it called? But Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
And on the Back to the Future one, they had a specific spot on there that I did not use because I did not want to for manure for that one scene when I think it's Biff gets into
Yeah, they had a scratch and sniff for manure.
They did indeed, and it was gross.
Wow, that's okay. What a good time at the theater that would be.
Yup.
My goodness. Well,
Yeah,
I have
so-
enjoyed getting to visit and catch up with you,
I
Karisa.
know, it's been so nice. I was just about to say, I was like, I can't believe that we filled up the full 2-hour slot with just nonsense.
Yeah, no, I think it was a good idea to pull out the medieval madness. Wish you could have joined along.
Oh, me too. Me too. But maybe next time we'll figure out how to have me play Fancy Pants. And then when I finally get my N64 broken out and all that good stuff, I'm gonna play Quest 64.
Well, like I said, would be happy to include you with our streaming schedule. It would be a relief to me, but also anytime. I mean, I could talk to you for a while. People are in the chat saying good content, so.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Why don't you come back and take an early shift with us on occasion?
Yes, I would really enjoy that because in the mornings it's really hard for me to get motivated to get out of bed.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be really nice to be like, hey, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go do this, this normal thing that I can do, and then I can finish doing work around the house, which is what I've been doing for all week.
Tell you what, we have. How do you feel about 1 week from today? Thursday
I
at
think
Thursday at 1 p.m.
I think we can do that.
All right.
Heck yeah.
It's your show.
All right, sounds good. Well, I'm really looking forward to it. I'll go ahead and let you go so you can get everybody ready for the next big guest that is sure to be on here in a little bit. And
Yep.
but thank you so much again for having me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Karisa. It was great visiting with you.
Yeah, of course. It was really good to talk to you, Chris. I hope you're doing well and you stay safe, okay?
You too. Be careful. Don't trip and fall off of any of those cliffs or stuff that's all over Kansas.
No worries. As long as I don't get sucked up into another tornado, I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, no place like home. Come on back.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, you don't have to tell me.
Mhm.
I'll talk to you guys soon, okay?
All right. Bye, Karisa.
Bye.
There is Karisa. And if you tuned in early, I played the Karisa art show as a lead-in when the video was paused. So a double dose of Karisa, which that is okay with me. And you heard it. I invited her back. She said yes. So we'll see her next Thursday at this time slot. Or 2 hours ago time slot. I can't guarantee we can talk to her for 2 hours every time. It worked out that way. One of the nice things about having Karisa around. Take the doodle down. All right, I've got 5 minutes until I'm supposed to see